But turns out there is a little-known crime wave in this country, with cyber thieves reaching into thousands of places you wouldn't expect.
There has been a rise in bank account takeovers.
Good morning. One type of identity fraud when thieves pose as a customer to gain access to their accounts. It's called an account takeover.
We need to talk about account takeovers. If a criminal can get access to your online account, they can then masquerade as you, they can use all the services that you signed up to, they can make purchases, they can take your money, they can cause you all sorts of grief. So it's important to understand how they actually break into your account, take control, own you, give you a headache, and cause untold amounts of grief. So let's take a look at these techniques. Brute force is a caveman technique. It's about using sheer brute force, as the name would suggest. So basically the bad guys are running a script, they're trying every number, letter, special character combination in the hope that they'll find the one that unlocks the account. Password spraying is a slightly more refined way of brute forcing. Instead of trying every single password combination, they'll look at what are the most commonly used passwords and use those. So if you use a commonly used password like password 1, 1234, 1111, admin, Arsenal are the worst, or anything like that, then the chances are the bad guys will be able to get into your account, take it over, and do all sorts of nefarious things like credential stuffing is a further refinement of password spraying. What that does is it looks at sites that have been breached. So where hackers have gotten in and they've got access to everyone's username and password. Now if you're the type of person that uses the same password across different websites, what will happen is that they'll breach it on one site and then they'll use that password and email combination to try and log onto different websites. Let's take the example of Eric Crone. He uses the password Javad's #1 fan. It's a pretty good password, it's pretty secure, but he reuses it everywhere. So when bad guys broke into the website of Boots for Kittens, they got his username and his password. They then tried to log on to Eric Crone's account onto every other website they could think of using the password Javad's #1 fan. As a result, he was owned. Yeah, this one we'll skip over. Phishing is another really popular technique. If they can't brute force your password, if your password's not a commonly used password and you're not reusing your password, they will try to phish you. What that means is they'll send you an email pretending to be from your bank or from a trusted provider saying, hey, something up with your account, please log on here and validate your details. You'll click the link thinking that you're going to your bank or official site and it will look like that, but it's actually a site controlled by the bad guy. And as soon as you enter your details and submit them, the bad guys capture them and they'll then use them to log on to the legitimate service and get up to all sorts of mischief. And there are a bunch of other techniques that bad guys use, but these are the most commonly used ones. So it's quite clear that account takeover is a big thing. There's lots of different avenues. What can we do about it? Are we completely powerless? I'm glad you asked because I just posed the same question to Twitter. And there have been a ton of really interesting responses. These responses I break into two categories. There are actions that the individual can do and there are actions that the service provider or the owner of the website can take. As long as there are accounts, criminals are still going to try and break into them. And as long as we continue to use passwords in their current form, we're going to carry on having these same challenges. However, this is one of the things where both the service provider and the users need to play their part in order to try and secure the account as much as possible. And hopefully in doing so, we can all stay secure, my friends.
And while you're here, check out my employer and I suppose pseudo sponsor, KnowBe4, the provider of the world's largest security awareness training and simulated phishing platform designed to help your employers make better risk decisions. It has a whole host of complementary tools including weak password test, browser password inspector, password exposure test, breach password test, multi-factor authentication security assessment, all of which are there to help better protect your organizations from ransomware attacks, credential theft and account takeovers. Visit knowbe4.com for more information.